Imaginable. I looked at this. I saw this little, I mean, good God, the social media of the Indiana Fever's train wreck now. Boy, has there been a greater drop-off in content in the last 3 months than the Indiana Fever social media? I don't know what's happened. I guess part of it is the front office has caused a lot of the backlash, combined with AI. So the Indiana Fever dropped this video out.
Look at that arena map. 5 days before the season opener, and there are thousands of empty seats still available. We're not talking about a few scattered singles in the nosebleeds. We're talking 46 tickets here, 67 there, 52 in another section. Basically every section in Gainbridge Fieldhouse still has inventory for a Caitlin Clark return game. Let that sink in for a second.
Secure your tickets today. Can't wait to see you at the season opener. I was like, season opener? Is that game?
Fever fans, welcome back to Gainbridge. We're super excited to have you guys here. We're going to be working hard. We're going to have a lot of fun, so continue to show up and show out.
We're going to be healthy this season, so we're going to have a complete complement of a roster. We're going to be a fun team to watch.
Our togetherness and our connectedness that allowed us to be so successful last year, I see that carried over to this season.
I think with the new additions to our team, we have added a lot of different layers that bring out the best in me, bring out the best in Cece.
We're going to be a team that plays up tempo and plays fast. It's going to be really exciting on both ends of the floor.
Just get up and down, play with pace. We're going to be a team that plays hard, that competes at a high level. We have a bunch of dogs on our team this year. We're gritty, we're tough.
Whoever puts the jersey on.
Now watch this promotional video the Fever released this morning. Count how many seconds it takes before you see number 22. 39 seconds. In a video designed to sell tickets to her return game, Caitlin Clark doesn't appear until the 39-second mark. And when she finally does show up, it's barely a glimpse. Meanwhile, we get extended shots of role players and coaching staff. The team's social media strategy has completely collapsed in the last 3 months. And this video is Exhibit A.
Way, this game's not sold out? Guys, I don't think there's no way we had this conversation in 2024 or 2025. That here we are this far out from the game and we're like, look at this. Look at this. There is one section outside of, I don't know what these are right here, but every section of this arena still has tickets left for the opener. And in some case, I mean, look at that, 46 tickets, 47 tickets, 52 tickets, 67.
Here's what makes this significant. 2 years ago, this creator was making videos mocking other WNBA franchises because they couldn't sell out games. Not even close. Fast forward to 2024, and the Indiana Fever became the hottest ticket in women's basketball. Games sold out in minutes. Secondary market prices hit NBA levels. The waitlist for season tickets stretched into the thousands. But something changed between last season's playoff run and this week's opener. The evidence is right there on Ticketmaster. This isn't speculation or hot takes. This is verifiable data showing a dramatic shift in fan behavior.
I'm thinking she may stay on the team. How about Caitlin Clark with a leg sleeve? Right there. Interesting. Lexi Hall. There's Lexi. All right, moving around, taking a shot or two. I assume she's going to be available to play. Okay, moving around. That looks good.
Pay attention to what's happening in these practice photos from beat reporters Tony East and Justine Piso. Lexi Hall is on the court, moving around, taking shots. She appears healthy and ready to play. That's good news for the roster depth. But here's what's more interesting. Caitlin Clark is wearing a leg sleeve in multiple photos and videos. That's new. She didn't wear compression sleeves during the regular season or playoffs last year. Either this is a fashion choice, or there's something going on with that leg that the team hasn't disclosed. Given the Fever's history of transparency issues, fans have every reason to be skeptical.
This one. All right, that's Lexi. Man, I got to tell you, this season's going to be interesting. It's already starting out interesting. By the way, I want to make something clear. Do I assume this game will eventually sell out?
Now look at this follow-up promotional graphic the Fever posted. Follow, like, subscribe. Front and center are Sophie Cunningham and Kelsey Mitchell. Caitlin Clark is nowhere to be seen. Again. This is a pattern, not an accident. Someone in that front office is making a conscious decision to minimize Clark's presence in marketing materials. Whether that's coming from ownership, the GM's office, or the social media team, the result is the same. They're actively de-emphasizing the one player who drove their ticket sales through the roof last season. And judging by the availability map we saw earlier, it's having exactly the impact you'd expect.
I do. That's not the point. You're telling me tickets are slow? The indictment here is that tickets are still available. Not only a ticket, not only a section, basically every section in the arena still has tickets available. And make no mistake, there's been people that's been like, starters out. That's why you saw so many empty seats, yada, 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 in the game the other night. Hold on. When that game tipped off and we're watching the game, you could not possibly have watched that game and not seen those empty seats on the right side, in the middle, on the left side, right in front of you from the beginning of that game.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Yes, this game will probably sell out eventually. The question isn't whether they'll fill the building. The question is why tickets are moving this slowly in the first place. 5 days out from a season opener featuring the reigning Rookie of the Year, and fans can still choose from hundreds of available seats across every section. That's not normal. That's not what happened last year. Something fundamental has shifted in how the Indiana fan base is responding to this team. And before anyone jumps to the starters were out excuse for the preseason game, let's be clear about what actually happened. When that game tipped off, you could see empty seats on camera. Not a few. Not just late arrivals. Visible, obvious gaps in the seating bowl from the opening tip. Those were tickets that either weren't sold or weren't used.
Visible. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed if you want the literal truth and nobody blowing smoke up your asses because they're afraid to hurt some people's feelings. Hurt some people. We don't get down. Look, you'll get to feeling better in the same panties you got on when you feel bad. Get over.
Here's where the front office miscalculation becomes clear. They spent the entire offseason making decisions that alienated the fan base that Caitlin Clark built. The coaching situation, the roster moves, the constant AI-generated social media content that feels soulless and corporate. Every choice seemed designed to downplay Clark's impact and spread credit around to everyone else. Fans aren't stupid. They see what's happening. They watched the Fever try to minimize the player who single-handedly transformed their franchise from irrelevant to must-see TV. And now those same fans are voting with their wallets. Not by boycotting completely, but by waiting, by hesitating, by not rushing to grab tickets the moment they drop. That hesitation is the sound of trust breaking down.
Fever fans, welcome back to Gamebridge. We're super excited to have you guys here. We're going to be working hard. We're going to have a lot of fun, so continue to show up and show out.
We're going to be healthy this season, so we're going to have a complete complement of a roster. We're going to be a fun team to watch.
Our togetherness and our connectedness that allowed us to be so successful last year, I see that carried over to this season.
I think with the new additions to our team, we have added a lot of different layers that bring out the best in me, bring out the best in CC.
We're going to be a team that plays up tempo and plays fast. It's going to be really exciting on both ends.
Go back and watch that promotional video again with fresh eyes. Listen to the messaging. We're going to be healthy this season, so we're going to have a complete complement of a roster. Translation: last year's success was just because we finally had everyone available, not because of any one player's transcendent talent. The new additions to our team have added a lot of different layers. Emphasis on the new players, not the returning all-star who broke every rookie record in league history. We're going to be a team that plays with tempo and plays fast. Generic coach speak that could apply to literally any basketball team. The entire video is constructed to distribute credit as widely as possible while minimizing the one name that actually sells tickets. It's organizational insecurity masquerading as team-first messaging.
Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed if you want the literal truth and nobody blowing smoke up your asses because they're afraid to hurt some people's feelings. Hurt some people. We don't get down. Look, you'll get to feeling better in the same panties you got on when you feel bad. Get over.
Think about the position this puts Caitlin Clark in. She's about to start her second season carrying the weight of an entire franchise on her shoulders, while that same franchise actively works to pretend she's just one piece of a collective puzzle. The cognitive dissonance is staggering. She'll walk into Gainbridge Fieldhouse on Saturday, and the 15,000 people in attendance will be there primarily because of her. Everyone knows it. The front office knows it. The coaching staff knows it. The other players know it. The media knows it. But the organization's public messaging refuses to acknowledge this basic reality. That kind of gaslighting creates a toxic environment. It breeds resentment. It makes players question whether their contributions are valued. And it sends a message to fans that the front office either doesn't understand what they have or doesn't respect the intelligence of their audience. Here's what the Indiana Fever front office still hasn't figured out. You can't build sustainable success by alienating the fan base that saved your franchise. You can't market a team by hiding your best player. You can't create genuine excitement with AI-generated content and corporate speak. The slow ticket sales for this opener are a warning sign. Not a crisis yet, but a clear indication that fan enthusiasm has cooled. The unconditional support that carried through last season's ups and downs has been replaced by cautious skepticism. Fans are asking questions now. They're waiting to see how this season unfolds before fully committing. And that's entirely the front office's fault. They had one job this offseason. Don't screw up the good thing you stumbled into. Instead, they made a series of decisions that communicated loud and clear that they don't actually understand why fans fell in love with this team in the first place. The coaching situation remains unresolved in the eyes of many fans. Christie Sides is back, but the lack of tactical evolution in the offense is concerning. The roster additions are fine, but they don't address the fundamental issues that plagued the team in the playoffs. The social media presence has devolved into generic promotional content that generates more mockery than engagement. Meanwhile, other WNBA teams are learning from the Fever's success. They're figuring out how to market their stars, how to create compelling content, how to build genuine connections with fan bases. The league is evolving, and Indiana is standing still, apparently convinced that Caitlin Clark's talent alone will be enough to carry them forward without any organizational support. That promotional video we watched earlier perfectly encapsulates the problem. It's professionally produced, features multiple players and coaches, includes all the right buzzwords about tempo and togetherness and toughness, and it's completely soulless. There's no personality, no authenticity, no reason for a casual fan to care. Compare that to the content individual players create on their own social media. Caitlin's golf videos, her authentic interactions with fans, her genuine personality shining through. That's what people connect with. That's what builds loyalty. The Fever's official content feels like it's actively running away from that kind of authenticity. The leg sleeve situation is another example of the transparency problem. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a compression thing for recovery. But given this organization's track record of withholding information and downplaying concerns, fans have every reason to wonder what's really going on. Trust once broken is hard to rebuild. Look at those practice photos again. Lexi Hall looks healthy, which is great. Chloe Peterson is working hard. The team appears to be preparing seriously for the season. But none of that addresses the fundamental disconnect between the front office and the fan base. Fans aren't asking for Caitlin Clark to be treated like a god. They're asking for basic acknowledgement of reality. She's the reason this team matters nationally. She's the reason attendance tripled. She's the reason the Fever went from afterthought to playoff team in one season. Pretending otherwise isn't humble team-first culture building. It's organizational delusion. The ticket availability tells the story. Thousands of seats still on the market 5 days before the opener, in every section, at every price point. That's not because Indianapolis suddenly stopped caring about basketball. It's because the front office spent the entire offseason giving fans reasons to hesitate. And here's the thing about fan enthusiasm, it's fragile. It can evaporate quickly if people feel disrespected or taken for granted. The Fever are testing that fragility right now. seemingly unaware of how close they are to squandering the gift they've been given. This season opener will be a test, not just for the team on the court, but for the relationship between the organization and its fan base. If the Fever come out and dominate, if Caitlin looks healthy and the new pieces fit seamlessly, maybe some of that trust gets rebuilt. But if there are stumbles, if the same problems from last season resurface, if the front office continues its tone-deaf approach to fan relations, this slow ticket sale might be the beginning of a larger trend. The WNBA is at a critical moment. Interest is higher than ever. Investment is flowing in. Expansion is on the horizon. The Indiana Fever should be at the center of this growth, riding the momentum of last season's breakthrough. Instead, they're fighting self-inflicted wounds, trying to convince fans that everything is fine while the evidence suggests otherwise. So the question becomes, will the front office wake up and recognize what they're risking? Will they start treating their fan base with the respect and transparency they deserve? Will they acknowledge that Caitlin Clark is the foundation of everything they're building, not just another piece to be downplayed in promotional videos? Or will they continue down this path, convinced that their approach is correct despite all evidence to the contrary? Because if they choose the latter, those empty seats we're seeing now might become a lot more common as the season progresses. And that would be a tragedy, not just for Indiana, but for the entire league. The Fever had lightning in a bottle last season. The whole sports world was watching. They have a chance to build something special, something sustainable. But only if they stop fighting against their own success. Only if they embrace what actually works instead of trying to force a narrative that doesn't match reality. Saturday's opener will tell us a lot. Not just about the team's on-court potential, but about whether the front office has learned anything from the fan reaction they've received. The seats will fill eventually, but the enthusiasm gap is real, and in professional sports, enthusiasm is everything. It's what drives merchandise sales, season ticket renewals, and the kind of organic growth that transforms franchises. The Indiana Fever are at a crossroads. They can choose to listen to their fan base and adjust course. Or they can double down on an approach that's clearly not working. The ticket sales data suggests which path they should take. The question is whether organizational pride will let them see it.